Hi, everybody. Matt Bernier, joined by Dan Illman, taking a look at another Kentucky Derby contender profile. This time we look at Solomini. He may be sort of the under-the-radar horse for Bob Baffert. That other horse is taking all the headlines for Baffert. But Solomini has some legitimate credentials to his name as well. We're going to take a look at his most recent start, his last race leading into the Kentucky Derby. This is the Arkansas Derby. Dan, I don't know what to do with this horse. Has he just not gotten any better as a 3-year-old?
If you just look at Beyer's speed figures, you're going to conclude exactly that. 93 Beyer in his final start as a 2-year-old, 292 Beyers in both starts as a 3-year-old. You're going to conclude that he hasn't gotten any better. I think that's probably not the way you're supposed to look at Solomini. I think you're supposed to look at Solomini as an individual and his entire body of work, which is pretty good. Multiple grade 1 placed, finished first in the Los Al Futurity, controversial disqualification. Obviously a very good 2-year-old. So let's break down his 3-year-old performances. The Rebel was his first start of the year. There were some hiccups. He was behind the 8-ball in terms of preparation, and he got into a little bit of traffic in that race. Last time out in the Arkansas Derby, there wasn't a lot of pace, and Solomini was hung out 4 wide around both turns. While it was a bit distressing that it seemingly took him forever to change leads in the stretch, Solomini is a battler. He toughed it out for 3rd. I think Bob Baffert's going to have him primed and ready for his 3rd start of the form cycle. He certainly's got the pedigrees by that exciting young classic stallion Curlin. It's Baffert. This is a horse that's going to be a good price. We know he's run good races in the past. I wonder if Solomini is actually an under-the-radar horse. I kind of agree with that.
You alluded to the lead change situation. He has been habitually a bit of a bad actor as far as the lead changes are concerned, going back to his 2-year-old form. Is it a matter of, is there a physical problem? Is it a matter of him not putting it together mentally as far as doing what he's supposed to do? Or do you just kind of look at it and say, you know what, maybe he's just ready to go and he's going to take a step forward and fingers crossed he does everything the way he's supposed to?
Or maybe just didn't like Oaklawn. I mean, it was really pronounced, his 2 races at Oaklawn. Last time out, it took him almost all the entire stretch to change leads, and basically he was in between horses, and he was kind of forced to change leads at that point. If it's a physical problem, if it's a mental problem, well, these are the things that are very, very concerning. I'm not sure you want to play a horse with a physical or a mental problem going into Kentucky Derby. You and I are lead change guides. We usually don't like to play these kind of horses, but I think there are mitigating circumstances in Solomini's case. It's not like he's going to be some ridiculously short price. He has run races that are pretty good, and I think, again, he was against the race flow, and he went really wide in the Arkansas Derby. Am I going to pick him to win the Kentucky Derby? Probably not, but I wouldn't be surprised if he factors in the outcome.
As far as the race shape is concerned, this has been a horse that can be a little bit more forward. He's shown that he can come from a few lengths off of it. Depending on what you believe the pace scenario to be, the Timeform US pace projector has a red bar indicating a fast early pace. Where do you expect him to be?
I think he's going to be a little bit further back than usual, and I think that's kind of going to be by design. Justify, we know if he breaks, he is going to be either out there on the lead or sitting second off promises fulfilled, sort of like in the Always Dreaming spot last year. I'm sure that's where Justify would love to be, and I know Solomini wouldn't want to be battling it out with his stablemate. I think he'll be in mid-pack or hanging out around 9th or 10th at about the half-mile pole, and once he starts gearing up on the turn, we'll see if he can sustain that rally going 1.25 miles. Again, boy, Curlin's been an exciting young stallion.
How many times after a race have we looked back and said, the other Baffert, maybe Solomini will be the other Baffert the first Saturday in May?